Full preview coming up, including a live hit from Porto. Get to that in just a second. Let's paint the picture first. Manchester City, your Premier League champions, obviously installed as significant favorites over Chelsea on Saturday. Quite the crew to discuss this match. We've got Frank Leboeuf, Craig Burley, Steve Nicol, and Martin Ainstein joining us from Porto. Martin, I'll start with you. Give us a sense, the atmosphere here ahead of this final, which we know this year will have fans unlike last year.
Yeah, that's the turning point. That's the difference. The passion was missing, and thanks God he's back. I mean, having the fans, I came from Gdańsk, from Poland, the Europa League final, and having the fans there in the stands, in the streets, singing with their scarves, their T-shirts, putting color, adding the real football, which is the identity, the DNA. What football means for the people is something that we were missing so much through this year, and thanks God he's back. I think it's going to be an amazing atmosphere at the stadium. Most of the fans, that 6,000 fans from Chelsea and 6,000 fans from City, are coming the same day in charters. They will head to the stadium, and we're going to have an amazing atmosphere. A stadium of 50,000 people, fill up with approximately 16,000 people chanting, singing, and backing up their team. It's amazing.
Martin, it's the day before the match, so we get a couple of training sessions inside the stadium. We also get to hear from both managers in press conferences. Anything interesting or important come from any of that today?
Yeah, there's a common ground and a point that both share. I think that Manchester City and Chelsea, they have coaches that they work in details. They work very deep into the players, how they prepare the game. They are signature teams, and you could see Thomas Tuchel very relaxed, trying to make the game and the final feel as a normal day at the office for the players. He knows that the last games he played at City, they've won. They were better. They had their momentum, but they had the control of the game, and that makes them, an extra confidence heading to the game. He said many times at the press conference, we have to shorten the gap, and we have done that the last 2 times. So he wants to take the game to that position, to that angle. He said also, we are the underdogs. He knows that City has done an amazing job in the Champions League, that they have quality players, probably individually better players than Chelsea. Guardiola probably is a little bit concerned about Gundogan having a muscle injury again, but also Guardiola was very relaxed. I mean, I think what you can see from both press conferences that they were playing mind games. I'm sure that they're feeling that it's all about not being stressed, being about having the courage of controlling the game. Both want the same thing: control the game, trying to not let the opponent, move the ball a little bit, not being deep. So it's gonna be like a chess game, and they want their players to be prepared, not to be so stressed, not to have the responsibility and the weight on their shoulders for City. That is just the first time they're in the final, and they have the obligation, the need to win it. So it's going to be very important how they prepare the game, how they create specific areas for the players not to be so stressed out.
Thanks, Martin. Martin mentions the recent history between these two. Last 3 meetings, you're looking at it right there. Chelsea's won 2 of 3, and the most recent 2 on May 8th in the league and April 17th in the FA Cup. Craig, how, if at all, does that translate, those 2 victories for Chelsea, to the Champions League final on Saturday?
Well, it's just a belief that you can, that on any given day, that you can take this City side on and you can beat them. I mean, it's much better stating the obvious than going into a final where you've just been thrashed in the previous 2 games. So, from Chelsea's perspective, that gives them confidence. Look, there's never no pressure in a final of this magnitude. But in some sense, Thomas Tuchel's already done his job. The job that he came in for was initially to get Chelsea into that top 4. And he did that, albeit he scraped in when Leicester lost. But he did it. So in some sense, it's a bit of a free hit for him, if indeed you can have that. And I think that's why maybe Martin was saying he's a little bit more relaxed. From Guardiola's perspective, he can play it down as much as he wants, but he is under pressure. You know, not for his job, but he's under pressure because of the headlines that will come once again if he doesn't pull this trophy off. The trophy that he had so much success at Barcelona, but it's eluded him at Bayern Munich and Manchester City. So the pressure is firmly on Manchester City, primarily because of their coach, and also because they've lost the last 2 games to Chelsea. But, you know, as we said at the top of the show, they are favourites, but it is no foregone conclusion.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.